Hello guys, what is up? My name is Kai, I am the Nerd of Strength, and this is your recap for the World's Strongest Man 2021, Day 1. Now I'm sure a lot of you have already watched a handful of other YouTubers make Day 1 recap videos. Those were posted hours ago. In that time we've had a couple more updates and I'm going to quickly run through those. But first, let me answer a couple of questions for anybody who might be new to the sport of strongman. First off, welcome to our wonderful and weird wacky world of this sport. Second of all, no, there is not a live stream for World's Strongest Man. You cannot watch it live unless you are a spectator who purchased a ticket last week. Yes, we know this sucks. This has sucked for a long time, and we say this every year. But the reason why it happens is because World's Strongest Man and IMG, their parent company, have TV contracts in place for X amount of years. And we don't know when that will change. However, you can start watching the broadcast version in America starting this July on CBS Sports and in December on Channel 5 UK. And lastly, before the show even started, we did have a replacement. Graham Hicks had a groin tear and was replaced with Irving Teutsch before the start of the show. However, Irving did not replace Graham in Heat 1. Gavin Bilton got moved up from Heat 5 to Heat 1, and Irving Teutsch moved to Group 5. With that out of the way, let's run down all the results for each heat. For Group 1 in the loading medley, Maxime Boudreau stole the show and completed the course in 1 minute, followed by Brian Shaw in a time of 1 minute and 5 seconds. They were the only two in their group to complete all 4 objects. And then Travis Ortmeyer came in third with 3 objects, Gavin Bilton with 3 as well, and Ivar Schmock-Stellis with 3. Athletes had 4 implements to get over the course, so they had 2 giant barrels filled with a mixture of sand and water, which were very awkward and hard to pick up, then a 274-pound anvil, and then they ran into an 823-pound frame and had to cross that over the finish line. For my prediction, I predicted Maxime was going to come in first, and lo and behold, he did. Big shocker that Brian came in second, but great start for him. Ivar Schmock-Stellis, in the few videos that I have seen, appeared to have dropped the anvil and lost time. Then moving on to Group 2, we had Tom Stoltman in first with a time of 46 seconds. Then Mark Felix with a time of 1 minute and 5 seconds. Evan Singleton in third with 3 objects. Johnny Hansen in fourth with 3 objects. And Trey Mitchell in third with 3 objects. So I think this definitely was a huge shocker for a lot of people. Tom had the fastest time in all of the groups, so spoiler alert for that. He had the fastest time of all 4 objects in all 5 of the groups, so that's super impressive. I think the biggest shocker in this group is that Mark came in second place. Not taking anything away from Tom, who did have the fastest time out of all 5 of the heats, but it's amazing that Mark Felix is still going at the age of 55 and came in second. He was only one of 7 guys to complete the full course. And in accordance with my prediction, I did have Tom winning this event, and lo and behold, I was right yet again. Going into Group 3, none of the athletes completed the full course, but Robert Obers had the longest distance of all of the objects that they did complete. He completed 3 objects with 11 meters. Jeff Karan came in second, 3 objects in 10.5 meters. Mikhail Shivnikov, 3 objects in 2.71 meters. Ithor Ingelsson Melstead with 3 in a time of 39.8, which means he literally only completed the 2 barrels and anvil and didn't even touch the frame. And Luke Richardson completed 2 of the objects in sub 18 seconds. However, he did tear his bicep, I believe, on the anvil. And after that, he was forced to retire from competition. This is such an unfortunate start for the British athletes so far. Graham pulling out before the competition starts, and Evan unfortunately having to pull out of the competition after the first event. I'm sure he'll be back stronger than ever next year. He, of course, will now have to fly home and see how bad the damage is, and I'm curious to see what happens regarding Europe's Strongest Man in a couple of months. He was my favorite to win this event, but of course, due to injury, he's pulled out of the entire competition. Then we have Group 4, where yet again, none of the athletes completed all 4 objects in the course, and this was based off of distance. So coming in first was Konstantin Janasha with 3 objects in 7.44 meters, Terry Holland with 3 in 5.31 meters, Jerry Pritchett with 3 in 1.57 meters, Chris Van Den Leed with 3 in 0.2 meters, and surprisingly, in last place, Adam Bishop with 3 objects in a time of sub 41 seconds, which means he didn't even touch the frame. Definitely surprising in Heat 4. I had Adam winning the load medley, but coming in last, I would never have guessed that. There were rumors that he might have been injured, but when we talk about the next event, I think all that rumor talk will be put to bed. And then finally, we have Group 5. Kevin Ferris coming in hot, coming in first with all 4 objects in a time of 59 seconds. Then Luke Stoltman completing all 4 as well in a time of 1 minute and 10 seconds. Bobby Thompson also completing 4 in a time of 1 minute 27 seconds. And then surprisingly, Oleksii Novikov down in 4th place, only completing 3 of the objects and moving the frame a distance of 9.3 meters, and Irving Teutsch also with 3 objects and only moving the frame 2.93 meters. Heat 5 is absolutely the group of death. This one looks like a random number generator decided the placings for this group, and I don't think anybody expected the standings so far. I had Oleksii winning the load medley, but coming in 4th, I would have never guessed it. And there's a couple videos out there where you can see that he's picking up the frame and walking backwards with it. Probably one of the more odder things I've ever seen in World's Strongest Man. And I'm sure they're going to say next year that you can't do that. But yeah, I had Kevin coming in 2nd on this event, but coming in 1st is absolutely amazing. Another thing to note is that 3 of the 7 athletes who completed this course came from Group 5, all with impressive times. Bobby completing the course just in the allotted time of 90 seconds. So before we move into event number 2, I just want to clear up some things. So unfortunately, because Luke Richardson had to withdraw due to injury, Group 3 only has 4 athletes competing. Now some of you might ask, how come they don't put in Gabe Pena as an alternate? Well, unfortunately, because Luke decided to participate in the first event, he can no longer have an alternate sub in for him. Once the athletes start the show, subs are no longer put into use. Because Graham pulled out before the show started, Irvin was able to take his place. It's unfortunate that Gabe won't get to compete this year, but he'll have many opportunities in the years to follow. Same with Luke, Graham, and anybody else who gets injured or has to pull out of the show later. With that out of the way, we're now going to move on to event number 2. For Group 1, they had the squat lift. And in an interesting turn of events, Ivar Schmock-Stellis and Brian Shaw tied for first with 10 reps. And then Maxime Boudreau in 3rd with 6, Gavin Bilton in 4th with 5 reps, and Travis Ortmeyer in last with 3 reps. So before injury and all the updates, I had Graham winning the squat, but of course he had to pull out the competition. I didn't know how Ivar's squats were going to be, and you know what, he surprised me, and I'm so happy he proved me wrong. Tying with Brian definitely gives him huge points and helps him in the points standing, so hopefully he'll have a good second day and can probably make it to the last man standing Atlas Stones. Moving on to event number 2, for Group 2, they had the deadlift. And it was a 3-way tie for first, with Trey Mitchell, Mark Felix, and Tom Stoltman all getting 8 reps. And then in 4th place, Evan Singleton with 5, and in 5th, Johnny Hansen with 3. My prediction was half and half. I definitely had Mark winning and maybe tying with Evan, but he tied with Trey and Tom instead. Mark definitely shows that he still got it, and you know what? All aboard the Felix Express, baby. As long as he stays consistent on day 2, he has a chance to make it to the stone off. Fingers crossed, and we're pulling for you, Mark. Then going into event 2 for group 3, they alternated and they had the squat lift. In first was Jeff Karan with 11 reps, Mikhail Shivlikov with 10, Ithor Ingelston Melstead with 7, and Robert Oberst with 0. So I of course had JF winning the squat, and I was of course correct, but I didn't expect Oberst to get 0. So what happened on his part is that he's not injured, he just had an equipment malfunction. He recently got a new squat suit, and what I've heard is that he couldn't necessarily hit depth, so the head judges did not give him the rep, and also one of his knee wraps popped off. So unfortunately for him, he got 0. If you don't even complete 1 rep, you don't even get a single point. So no, it was not strategic on Oberst's part. I'm sure he wanted to at least do 1 to guarantee himself some points. So a big blunder for Obi after he was off to a fantastic start in the load medley. Moving on to event 2 for group 4, they had the deadlift. Adam Bishop came in first with 9 reps. Konstantin Janashia came in second with 8 reps. Terry Holland third with 6 reps. Jerry Pritchett in fourth with 5 reps. And Chris Van den Leed with 4 reps. So definitely shocking to say the least. In my prediction, I had Adam and Jerry tied on this, so once again I was half right. Getting 9 reps and taking first in the deadlift is great for Bishop, especially after his disappointing start in the first event. I am surprised that Jerry got 4th in this and only getting 5 reps. Some people are speculating that there might be a hamstring injury. We haven't heard anything from Jerry yet, so we'll see. If anything, I'm sure he'll power through. Some interesting things to note about this heat. There were talks of Adam maybe being injured, but getting first in the deadlift and scoring 9 reps definitely puts that to bed. Terry Hollands was rumored to be injured in the first event, picking up a bicep tear on the anvil during the load medley, and there is supposed rumors about Jerry Pritchett maybe having a hamstring injury with him only doing 5 reps in the deadlift, but there hasn't been any substantial evidence on that last thing. After this event, Terry Hollands did pull out of the competition, and he announced that he is officially retired from World's Strongest Man. Not sure if he will be competing at OSG in the Masters division, but for now, he has said that he is retired, and he went out in a blaze of glory. While it's not the finish that Terry expected, at least he can go out on his own terms. He will sorely be missed in World's Strongest Man. And the last group up, group 5, had the deadlift as well. Bobby Thompson takes first with 9 repetitions. And then there is a joint tie for second place between Oleksii Novikov, Luke Stoltman, and Kevin Ferris, all with 6 reps. And in 5th is Irving Teutsch with 3 reps. I'm psyched to say that I was also correct on this one. I had Bobby solely being the holder of first place, and I was absolutely correct. But the most shocking thing about this is Oleksii tying for second place. I thought he would at least be in 4th or 5th in this event because the deadlift was from standard height, but he's definitely still fighting for, if not winning the group overall, at least a shot in the last man standing Atlas Stones. So far, we have the event standing after day 1 of the qualifying heats. So for group 1, in first is Brian Shaw with 8.5 points, Maxime Boudreau in second with 8 points, Ivar Smock-Stellis in third with 5.5 points, Gavin Bilton in fourth with 4 points, and Travis Ortmeyer in 5th with 4 points. For group 2, Tom Stoltman is leading with 9 points. And surprising a lot of people, the ageless wonder Mark Felix in second with 8. Joint third with Trey Mitchell and Everett Singleton both having 5 points. And in 5th, Johnny Hansen with 3. Then going to group 3, we have JF Karan in first with 9 points. Mikhail Shivlikov in second with 7 points. Thor Ingelston Melstead and Robert Obers tied in joint third with 5 points, and of course Luke Richardson had to withdraw due to injury. For Group 4, we have Konstantin Janashia in first with 9 points. Terry Hollands was in second with 7 points, but he of course withdrew, so that bumps Adam Bishop up to second with 6 points. Jerry Pritchett in third with 5 points, and Chris Van den Leed in fourth with 3 points. And lastly, Group 5, Bobby Thompson and Kevin Ferris are both tied for first with 8 points. Luke Stoltman in third with 7 points. Oleksii Novikov in fourth with 5 points, and Irving Teutsch in fifth with 2 points. So far, I have to say, even without video footage and just staring at spreadsheets all day, this has been one of the most interesting World's Strongest Man heats so far. A lot of guys you expect to be in first or dominating their heats coming at the bottom or mid-pack, a lot of injuries and a lot of withdrawals. It's anybody's game, and a lot could happen on day 2 of the World's Strongest Man. This year has definitely been a lot different. The athletes were explicitly told to not post any footage online, and it seems like World's Strongest Man and IMG are cracking down on spectators recording events as well. So it's very hard to find any live streams to watch, and of course we all wish we were watching it live, but we just have to wait and see what happens in a couple of weeks. To keep up with all the up-to-date information and point standings throughout the day, check out the Strongman Reddit and strongmanarchive.com. Bill and Elway have put up a fantastic website that'll keep us up to date on all the point standings throughout the World's Strongest Man competition. If the website does seem slow, you can always check out the backup Google spreadsheets, which also have all the point standings. Definitely check out their website and show them some love, and also please consider donating to the cause. And outside of all of that, thank you guys for watching my quick update video. Once again, my name is Kai. I am the Nerd of Strength. If you like what I do, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Check me out on Instagram, Twitch, Ko-fi, and Patreon, all under Nerd of Strength. Check back here tomorrow for a recap of Day 2 of the World's Strongest Man 2021. Thank you guys for watching, and have a great day.